Then I say a very sweet welcome on this very sunny and gorgeous Thursday. We're grateful for the little things these days. I know. Good. So please come into your first comfortable seat. Strength within your spine. Not effort, just strength. Shoulders soft and relaxed. Preferably on the side of your body rather than at the front. Keeping those beautiful collarbones wide and open. Especially if you are shifting the weight truly on top of your sitting bones. It then makes it very easy to imagine this inner line, this inner central plumb line, so to say. Eyes soft or closed, simply becoming still for the sake of being still. So tonight we are going to dive a little bit into our back bends, our heart openers, just to explore, see what's there. Always very, very, very challenging in all the classes. I can always see it all week long. I'm already doing my classes on back bends, and it's the struggle is real, as they say. And I'm trying to explain them the difference between backbending and heart opening. And of course, heart opening invites so many lovely little stories there. All my favorite teachers, they're all talking about the heart, to open the heart, to be loving awareness, to, all that love, heart stuff. I'm very drawn to that. And then during my holiday, I reread a book. I have it for many years, and I think it's a really interesting, fun read, very easy holiday read. And it's called Spiritual Enlightenment, The Damnedest Thing by a man called Jed McKenna, who's not a man, who's just a pseudonym. So a nom de plume. Nobody really knows who Jed McKenna is, who wrote the books. But it's out of the perspective of an enlightened teacher. He's very forward about his enlightenment. He's very like, well, I'm enlightened, so I know. So it's very written in that perspective. But he breaks down a lot of these wishful thinking kind of yogis, who just like to taste everything a little bit here and a little bit there and just rather stay in the search than really getting anywhere, which is also recognizable to a certain degree. And there are many points where he sort of hints towards that point that after enlightenment, it becomes all a little different because morality is not necessarily the same as it was before. So all the love, love, love stuff is maybe for an enlightened person more fluff. It's like, well, you can also do it without it. So what are we going to do then? I mean, at the end of the day, whatever we spend our time with is just a choice either way. And we can choose what we want to fill it with. Now, love and the heart stuff and loving awareness and compassion and kindness, maybe it's just really very lofty goals. The world gets smaller, there are more and more people, and it doesn't matter how much yoga you practice, the number of idiots is not getting smaller, surprisingly. You're just learning to deal a little better with all the people who think so much differently. So maybe that is a heart opening. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It goes very much into not just practice, but really how you want to live your life, no? What kind of beliefs and values, what is it you find important, what you want to put in, which person you want to be. It's just that, like everything else we do on the mat, it's just a choice. So I'm still sticking with the heart stuff and the love stuff because I think it's very important to make life for us normal, unenlightened people just a little lighter and a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more. Maybe it's just that we all have a clear image of what that is and love, something like that. So, as we're going to crack open that heart space, let's bring our hands together right in front of it for a moment. As always, at the beginning of the practice, we are setting an intention or make this practice an offering. And open your eyes, reaching your arms out and up. Interlace your fingers, flip the hands, press it up for a moment. And of course, straight up would be great. I'm not even mad if you want to pull the shoulders up for a second, or if you want to keep them down, all good. If you want to bring them a little further back, that would be lovely. Mwah. And then bringing your right hand to the outside of the head, pressing the left shoulder down and allowing very gently to pull the ear a little away from the shoulder. Shoulder stays down, opening up. Very sweet. It's not a hard pull. And not trying to prove something to your neck. Just a little gentle opening. And lift it back into the middle and change. Left hand takes the head, draws it over towards the left side while you actively press your right shoulder down. And back into the middle. Interlace your fingers one more time, and maybe this time you decide, let's do it the other way, the funky way, flipping the hands and pushing the hands straight forward, while at the same time aiming to open your shoulder blades, round your upper back, maybe drop your chin towards your chest. On an inhale, looking back up, releasing your arms, and then let's find our way onto hands and knees, my friend, my friend. Cool. Let's bring it a little higher. Hit. It's always like coming home, isn't it? Good. We are going to be on hands and knees, moving a little bit gently through the spine into all kinds of directions, just playing around. Maybe it's just moving your hips. Maybe it's moving your shoulders in all kinds of directions, forward and back. And maybe the whole spine is playing a little bit. Marvelous. Then finding your way back into the middle. Nice long spine, broad shoulders. On an exhale, round your back and bring your right knee towards chest chin. On an inhale, arch the back and lift your right foot behind you to the ceiling. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round one more time. Inhale, arch. And then step your right foot forward in between your hands. Placing your hands onto your front knee and allowing very gently just to shift that weight a little further forward. Then placing all the fingers back onto the floor and 3 times Bend your left knee really hard, bring the heel close to the butt, and bring it back, getting some sensation. Bending your knee, engaging your hamstring, and release. And then one last time, bend, 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 bend. Really squeeze your leg together. And then release. Bring your right knee back. Wet dog, shake it out. Then from here, exhale, round the back again, left knee towards chest chin. Inhale, arch the back, lift the left foot behind you. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, arch, nice and controlled, nothing is thrown. Exhale, last time. Inhale, arch. And then stepping that left foot forward. Hands onto your front knee. Very sweetly. See where we are at. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Placing our fingers back onto the floor. And then 3 times bend your back knee, bringing the heel close to the butt. And release the foot back to the floor. Again, bend your knee. Of course, you're always allowed to support your knee by bringing something under if that's more comfortable. Release. And then last time, bend, 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 squeeze, 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 and release. This time, tucking the right toes under so we can step back into a down dog. So again, it depends always what kind of tradition you follow. In my tradition, when I think of down dog and I think of that upper body, I think one long line. The Buddhists might call it the midway. Strong line from my wrist, through my arms, through the torso, shooting through the sitting bones. That energy is pulling back and away from your hands. Nice. But during the class, I will give you the option. For those who feel the body warms up, there's a little bit more space to discover, to draw the chest a little bit more towards the ankles. Kind of like the Ashtanga yogis do it. But it's just as an extra stretch. If you find that difficult with your long arms and fairly long legs, you can try to bend your knees a little bit more and press the torso a little bit more towards the thighs. Good. Then on your next inhale, shoot forward, high push-up plank. Knees down, lower yourself onto your belly. Reaching your arms alongside the body, meeting the hands behind your back, interlace the fingers, lengthen the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together, feeling your shoulders lifting strongly away from the floor, and then lift your chest, pulling the hands to the wall behind you while your feet are strongly pressing into the floor. Shalabhasana variation. Remember that the plan is still to lengthen the spine. That includes, of course, your neck. So if you feel you lost your neck, pull your shoulders away from the ears. Good, nice. One more breath. And exhale, placing the hands alongside the chest, lower down. Inhale back to hands and knees. And exhale back to down dog. One more time. Bend your knees a little bit more, but at the same time also lift your sitting bones. So it's not going deep to the heels. You bend the knees and lift the sitting bones higher, And maybe press your belly one more time, a little more towards the thighs, letting your chest, your head come a little closer to your feet and ankles. Good. And then release to walk your feet forward towards the top of your mat. At the top of the mat, knees bent, feet hip width apart, belly very much on top of your thighs, and then interlacing the fingers behind your back, lengthen the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades, let the hands drop. If your hands are straight above your body and they don't go any further, feel free to open your hands and let the long arms drop by themselves a little further or a little deeper. Don't overwork your neck. Feel free to look through your legs to the back wall. And then release your arms. And with bent knees, we're going to roll ourselves up to stand. Placing your hands together in front of the chest, heart space. Hello. Good. A nice sweet little sun salutation. Wherever you are in your breath, exhale now deeply. On an inhale, reach your arms over your head. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, a half lift high on your fingertips would be lovely. Exhale, step both feet back to down dog for 3 breaths. On your next inhale, coming forward to a high push-up plank. Exhale, lower down onto the floor for Cobra, Bhujangasana. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower down. Back to hands and knees and exhale back to down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up high. Exhale, right foot steps forward, big step. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, finding your comfort zone, your yum zone for this posture. Inhale, creating length and space, especially in the spine. One more. Inhale. Exhale, hands down, right foot back to down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts up high. Exhale, left foot steps forward, good step. Rising up into high lunge. Exhale, finding just about the appropriate height, hip stays leveled. Creating length within the spine, within the arms. And if your arms are reaching a little further back, lovely. One last inhale. Exhale, hands down, left foot back to down dog. One deep breath here in. Exhale, bend your knees, keep the butt up high, just as we did before. Inhale, step or hop forward, long legs, navel in. Exhale, fall deeply onto your legs. Inhale, coming up to stand, reach up high, maybe the hands a little behind the head. Exhale, hands in front of the chest. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fall deeply down. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Exhale, step both feet back to down dog. 3 breaths. And again, if you feel the space to bring your chest a little closer to your ankles, feel free to do so today. On an inhale, coming forward to a high push-up plank. Exhale, lower down onto the floor. Second cobra, we hold it for a breath. Inhale, lift. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, chest pulls forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale back to hands and knees. And exhale back into down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up high. Exhale, right foot steps forward, big step. Inhale, rising up. Stay for one breath. Exhale. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, both hands down inside right foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine, pull that chest forward. Exhale, bend your elbows a little bit more, maybe bringing left ear close to the floor. Inhale, look up, lift your chest, arch up. Exhale, back to down dog. One breath. Inhale, left leg lifts up high. Exhale, left foot steps forward, big step. Inhale, rising up. Stay for one, exhale. Inhale to lengthen. Both hands down inside left foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine, chest pulls forward. And exhale, bend your elbows, maybe right ear close to the floor. See if you can keep your right knee off the floor. Inhale, look up, lift the chest, arch up. Exhale back into down dog. Inhale, forward to a high push-up plank. Exhale, lower down onto the floor. Inhale, cobra to stay. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Bring it back to hands and knees. Exhale back to down dog. Exhale, bend your knees, look in between your hands. Lightly step or hop forward, long legs, lower abdominals engaged. Exhale, fold deeply onto your legs. Inhale, arms reach over the head, maybe even towards the back wall. Exhale, hands in front of the heart space. One more round. Inhale, arms reach up, if you like, over. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, a half lift. And one more time, step both feet back to down dog. On your next inhale, coming forward to a high push-up plank. Exhale, lower down onto the floor for one cobra. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, coming down, reach your arms back alongside the body. Inhale, lift everything away from the floor. And exhale, bring it back into down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up high. Exhale, right foot steps forward, big step. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, pull the elbows out to the side, happy bear, opening that chest. If you have that space, arms a little behind that body, behind your shoulders. On an inhale, reach the arms back up, and again, both hands down inside right foot. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, bend your elbows. Inhale, lift up, look up. And exhale back into down dog. One breath here. Inhale forward to a high push-up plank. Exhale, lower down, same thing here. One inhale for cobra. Exhale, lower down, reach your arms back. One breath for locust. And exhale back to down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts up high. Exhale, left foot steps forward, big step. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, open that chest, happy bear, strong arms. Good, nice. Open that chest, open that chest. On an inhale, reach the arms up to again bring both hands down inside left foot. Inhale, strong back leg, chest pulls forward. Exhale, bend your elbows a little or a lot. Inhale, look up, arch up, lift that chest. And exhale back to down dog. Last time, forward to a high push-up plank. Last time, control to the floor for cobra. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower down, reach your arms back. Inhale, locust, lift everything. And exhale back into down dog. On your next exhale, bend your knees, look in between your hands. Lightly step or hop forward. Exhale, fall deeply onto your legs. Inhale, arms reach up to the ceiling or slightly behind your head. Exhale, hands in front of the heart space. Then bring the arms to the side of the body and turn your palms forward. Now, if you would bend your knees deeply, most likely your body will stay in this plumb line, in that gravitational plumb line. So you would simply stretch your Achilles tendon, most likely. What we want to do now is to follow the line of your thighs. That means when you now bend your knees, allow your torso to shift a little back, to hinge back from your knees. Yes, that means you push your pelvis a little forward. Yes. It's just like, yes. Good. Hinging, hinging, hinging. Very nice. And then lift yourself back up. Long legs. Do that one more time. Bend your knees, but don't stay above your feet. Let yourself lean a little back. Let your thighs work a little bit to hold the torso. It's hard because you shift out of that gravitational plumb line. Yes. If we wanted to get deeper, we would have to lift the heels, but we won't. Good. And then bring it back up. Now place your hands behind you, framing your little tailbone here, pushing the pelvis forward, squeezing the elbows together. Good. And if you feel you want to look straight up to the ceiling, marvelous. Your hands are not so much to hold you. Your hands are there to remind you to lengthen that tailbone down, to keep that lower back quite spacious. If you want to go a little deeper, bend your knees. And if you feel, hey, that works, maybe I can look a little further to the back wall. Ooh. And then lift your head and lift yourself back up. Nice. Bring in the hands back in front of the chest heart space. Exhale, wherever you are in your breath, exhale through the nose. Inhale, arms reach overhead. And again, if you want to bring them behind the head, go for it. Exhale, fold forward and down nice and slow. Inhale, a half lift high on your fingertips. Exhale, step those feet back into down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up high. Exhale, right foot steps forward, big step, left heel circles down, warrior one. Rising up. So warrior one is of course never here, though I see it very often in class, because life is hard, I get it. So at least looking forward. If not, lifting your chest and look a little higher up. After all, these sequences are called sun salutations. You don't always have to look at the horizon. You can also think of the sun in the sky. Thank you. On your next exhale, open wide into a warrior two. Reaching the right arm forward. As always, you are allowed the way you want to do it, elbow on top of the knee. But today I would invite you to shift your to shift your right elbow to the inside of the knee and bring your right hand just under your belly button. Left arm reaches up high, and if you want, extending your left arm over. One strong line from left foot to left fingertips. Right elbow might press into the knee, but it's not leaning on top. Then bringing your left hand into the hip, bring your right hand to the outside of the right foot, and then very sweetly shifting the weight onto your right leg, moving the right hand forward, a little half lift. Reaching your left arm up high, aiming to bring your arms very much into one line. Grounding your right foot. Nice, guys. Very nice. A little more power in that back leg would be lovely. And then look down. Both hands to the mat. Bend right knee. Step, hop, fly, glide it back. Whee! Well, no reason to make it look that heavy. Good. Good, lovely. Down dog. Wiggle out what you need to wiggle out. Same other side. Inhale, left leg lifts up high. Exhale, left foot forward, right heel circles in and down. Inhale, warrior one. Remember that in all our postures, we are working on these two directions at the same time. There is a draw downwards in your lower body. Hips heavy, your front knee is bent strongly, your legs are working hard, but it's a generous step. There's some grounding there. At the same time, your spine is lengthening away. Lovely. Lift that chest if possible. Good. Remember, we lift the chest to lift it away from the lower back. So we're never hanging and pressing and compressing down like we do all day long. On your next exhale, open wide into your warrior two. Great. Reach out. So again, Hip in a way wants to pull down while your upper body spine through the top of the head is pulling up. Two directions. Now reach your left arm forward. And of course, if you want to bring the elbow on top or your hand to the floor, that's fine too. Just today as a variation, maybe bring your elbow to the inside of the knee, left hand just under your belly button, right arm reaches up, and right arm might even reach over your head. You can press your left elbow into the left knee to allow your right shoulder to fall backwards. Then looking down towards left foot, right hand into your right hip, left hand outside left foot. Shifting the weight onto our left leg, stacking right hip on top of the left. Right arm reaches up high. Extending all your extremities. And then exhale, look down, fingers to the floor, bend left knee so you can step it back into a down dog and wiggle some things out. On an inhale, come forward to a high push-up plank. Ashtanga Namaskar, knees down, bend your elbows, but don't bring your elbows to the floor. Bring your chest closer to the floor. On your next inhale, forward and up into upward facing dog. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, lift that chest. And exhale back into down dog. On an inhale, right leg lifts up high. Exhale, right foot steps forward, left heel circles in and down. Warrior one, rise up. Then reaching both arms forward. Right arm crosses under the left. Coming into our Garuda Asana arms, spiraling the little fingers forward. Now you could just use it as your shoulder stretch and stay with your upper arms parallel to the floor. Or maybe you want to lift your elbows. You want to lift your gaze. On your next exhale, open into warrior two. Allow a nice big step, strong arms, strong legs. And then we're going to lengthen the right leg out. Turn your right toes to the long side of the mat. Coming halfway forward, torso parallel to the mat. If you like, you can interlace the fingers again behind your back, lengthen the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then folding your belly in between your thighs and letting your hands drop behind your head towards the floor. Again, the variation to keep your hands open, to come into that gravitational pull of your wrists is okay. And if you need your hands on the floor, that's of course fine too. Always stay with the variation that works best for you today. On your next inhale, Lifting your head and chest, torso parallel to the floor, hands to the hips. Exhale, come all the way up. Turn your right toes back towards the top of the mat, arms out, warrior two. Then shifting into warrior three. Bring your hands to the mat. Bring your left heel up, level and square the hip. Shifting your weight forward. Pushing left heel strongly into the wall behind you. High on your fingertips, lifting that chest, simply feeling your back muscles engaging. If you want to bring your hands off the floor, you absolutely can. Maybe arms to the side like an airplane. Maybe hands in front of the chest, heart space. Then lift yourself up to stand, bringing your left knee up. Taking hold of your left foot with both hands. Then slowly extending the leg straight forward in front of you. Lower leg is fine too. If you cannot hold the foot, hold the leg and lengthen it forward. Yes. And then bending your left knee, standing up, left foot onto the mat. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Last time. Inhale, a half lift. And then we step those feet back into a down dog. Maybe one more time. If you have the space to allow your chest to come a little closer towards your feet, towards your ankles, just as an extra stretch, that's fine. Then inhale forward to a high plank. Knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Namaskar to stay. On your next inhale, upward facing dog. Energize the legs, knees are off the mat, stay for one breath. And exhale back into down dog. Last time, I swear. On your next inhale, left leg lifts up high. Exhale, left foot forward, right heel down. Inhale, warrior one. Arms forward, left arm under right. Garudasana, arms spiraling the little fingers forward. Use it as a shoulder stretch, or if you feel you have the space, lifting your elbows, lifting your gaze up, letting the fingers of your right hand maybe point to the wall behind you. Maybe you want to look to the wall behind you. On an exhale, open wide into warrior two. Woo. Then lengthen your front left leg out. Again, turning left toes to the long right side of your mat. Second time we are coming forward, Prasarita Parattanasana. Maybe this time you want to come into hidden prayer, bringing your hands behind the body, pressing your hands together. If that's out of the question, maybe fingers interlace, or worst case, hands to the floor. Either way, slowly folding your belly in between your thighs, then your chest, then your head. Pressing the palms firmly together if you're in hidden prayer. On your next inhale, halfway coming up, hands to the hips. Exhale all the way up. Circle the arms up and out, turning left toes to the short side of the mat, top of the mat, bend left knee. You are back in warrior two to set up for warrior three. Both hands to the floor. Make sure you have enough space in front of you. Level and square the hip. Shift the weight forward. Lengthen the right leg to the wall behind you. Lifting that chest strongly, high on your fingertips. If you want to bring your hands off the floor, great. And placing the fingers back down, bending both knees, and we are coming up to stand. So lift up and bring your right knee in front of you. Lifting your right knee nice and high. Grabbing the foot, the ankle, the lower leg. And then extending the leg straight forward. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 1. Bend your knee, stepping your foot gently down, and then last time, reaching your arms up, and then exhale, folding down, hands to the floor, and very simply set your shin bones onto the floor and settle into a child's pose. Feeling the breath, slowing down again. And take 2 more breaths here. And then gently bringing your hands back under the shoulders. Bringing your legs back parallel, sitting on our heels if that's available. Placing our hands behind you. Now for some of us, it might just be enough to tuck the tailbone, pull the tailbone a little down. Feel that opening in your hip flexors and lean back. Those who feel, hey, I got a little bit more power in the feet, kick your ankles, lower legs hard into the floor and feel your hips lifting. Keeping the lumbar section, the lower back, very spacious, very long. Keep kicking your ankles into the floor. And exhale, bring it down. Very nice. Come one more time to sit on your heels. Bringing your arms forward, bending your elbows, sorry, not your elbows, your wrists in, and let just the fingertips touch. So, arms forward, bending the fingers in so the middle finger can touch. Then you're lifting your arms over your head like a little roof. And then gently start to push your chest, your ribs a little forward, arching the back. This maybe allows your arms to go a little further behind. Here in the seated position, I really allow you to arch the back, to push the ribs a little forward, and maybe allow the arms to go a little further back. For 5, 4. If you find it comfortable enough with a nice long neck, maybe look towards your fingers. 3, 2, 1. Lift your head, lift your arms back forward, release. Good. And then gently come onto your hands and knees. Lengthen your legs out and come onto your belly. Bringing your left hand, the back hand, onto your tailbone and your right hand towards your forehead. So you need, of course, to lift your head ever so slightly so you can touch your forehead. And then we change the arms, right hand to the tailbone, left hand to the forehead. Then change, and change, and change, and change, and change, and change, and 3, and 2, and 1. Placing both hands alongside the chest. Roll the shoulders back and peel your chest off. So be mindful that we are not necessarily trying just to lift the torso off the floor and not much articulation happens in the spine. Think of your chest pulling off the floor kind of like gum of your shoe, like we slowly, piece by piece, rolling ourselves off. Now, I'm absolutely fine if you stay in the area of where your back muscles are doing the work. Very good, make them strong. Those of you who feel, hey, there's a little bit more space in that cobra, feel free to lengthen a little higher up, but still ideally without locking your arms. Locking your arms means you stop working in your back muscles. Lifting your chin, lifting your eyes, open the front throat, and exhale, lower down. Bringing the forehead down onto the mat. Relax your arms alongside the body. If this is not comfortable, just look down onto the mat with your nose tip balancing just over the mat, though I would love your forehead pulling to the floor, creating a little more space and opening in the back of your neck. Then bring your chin onto the floor. Turn your palms down onto the mat. Your thumbs are pointing out. Your arms are very, very long. Lengthen the right leg and lift your right leg away from the floor. Then if you want to go further, bend your left knee and push your left knee hard into the floor so you can possibly lift the right leg a little higher. This is no contact between left foot and right leg. Right leg long. Exhale, left shin down, right leg down. Relax. Shake your butt. If your head needs a break, come onto your ear. And again, chin to the floor. Strong arms. Left leg is lengthening and lifting. Maybe that's enough. But you, of course, feel most likely already your right knee pushing into the floor. So you could make this even stronger by bending the right knee and kick your right knee hard into the floor to lift your left leg a little higher. And exhale, bringing your legs down. Turn onto your other ear and relax your arms alongside. Shake your butt out if needed. Then placing your hands again alongside the chest, looking down. Then not only lifting your chest, but pulling your hips back until you can bring your forearms onto the mat. Allowing your chest to drop. And again, those of you who want to create a little bit more intensity here, you can reach your arms a little further forward. The melting heart. You could rest your chin down if that's too much. Nose or forehead is fine too. But of course, by bringing the chin to the floor, you create a little extra rounding, a little bit more depth for your chest. This is not about forcing anything, please remember. And then pressing your arms into the floor to give your chest just enough lift that you can circle or pull the arms a little further back until you're back on hands and knees. And shake things out a little bit. Very nice. You're going to step your right foot forward. As we started the class, we are coming back to our crescent moon posture, our low lunge. Now we want to, of course, allow the hips to drop. To give you the counteraction, interlace all the fingers except of the index finger and lift your hands straight up to the ceiling. So again, we are playing with that pull into two directions. If your arms move a little further backwards, that's fine if you feel you have that space. You want to lift your gaze, your eyes, your chest towards the ceiling. Wonderful. If you want to bend your back knee and bring your foot towards your hip, go for it. Exhale, bringing the left foot down. And then hands in front of the heart so you can choose. Either left hand down, right arm back, hold the foot. Or if you prefer, left arm reaches back, holding the left foot, bringing the foot close towards your hip, keeping your chest, your shoulders, your hips square to the front. Notice how your hip wants to pull away from the floor. Don't let it happen. Let it sink. Those who are holding the foot with their left hand, if you want to catch it into your elbow, you can do that too. And you could reach your right arm behind your head towards the left hand, like the mermaid we do sometimes in pigeon pose. If it works with my short legs, it should work for everybody. Good, very gently, everybody. Placing the fingers, the hands back to the floor. Bring your right knee back and maybe give it a little shake or move. We are nearly there. Same other side. Left foot steps forward. Generous steps, so we have some space for the hips to sink. And as we allow our hip to sink towards the floor, let our spine lengthen up. And those who feel very comfortable in the posture, yes, of course, you could create a little bit more rounding, a little bit more pull towards the back wall again. And slowly. Last breath was bending the back knee for those who wanted. Ah. And release the leg. Hands in front of the chest so you can make a choice. Right hand down, left arm back, hold right foot, or you keep it squared. Right hand back, bend right knee, take the foot, draw it close, and reaching the left arm up high. If your hips, if your becken, if your pelvis is lifting away from the floor, it of course becomes a little harder on your right knee. So keep it synced. If you want to catch it in your elbow, that's of course also a possibility. And then gently bringing your right foot back to the floor, both hands to the mat. And then we come last time on the belly. Only one posture today. Reaching our arms alongside the body. Lifting the chest, reaching the arms back. Bend the knees. Take hold of your ankles. Flex the feet. Inhale, lift. Not only kicking your ankles into your hands, but then allowing your thighs to lift as well. Those who feel they have a lot of space here, if you want to change your hands to the inside of the ankles, you can. And exhale, bring it down and come to lay on your backside. Feet a little wider apart, knees resting against each other for a moment, which again allows a little opening around the tailbone. A little more relaxed glute. Maybe you want to reach your arms over the head for a moment. And then ending in half bridge with our heart opening series. Feet, knees, legs parallel. Spacious though, so you have a nice strong beginning. Pushing your feet firmly into the floor, lifting your torso, your pelvis, rolling the shoulders under if you like. And as the option goes, for those who want to go into the full wheel, placing your hands alongside the head. Inhale, exhale to the crown of your head. Inhale, exhale, rising up. Slowly, everybody coming back down. Hands into your knees, keeping the arms though fairly long. We circle a little bit over the tailbone, both directions. Either with your knees together, with your legs wider apart, that's okay. And then let your knees drop to the left while you reach your right arm to the right. Deep breath. On your next exhale, roll yourself back and set up your twist knees to the right. Extend your left arm. And then turn yourself back and spread yourself out into Shavasana. If today is a day where you want to bring a little bit support under your knees, please do. A little extra pillow or something, that's absolutely fine. Of course, colder season, you want to be comfortable. Eventually, that might also apply to the yoga mat and the floor, just future planning. It's always okay to have then a blanket there to lay a little bit more comfortable. And then, my friends, let it all go. And allow a deep breath back into the body. Moving your fingers, your toes. Come on back into that lovely body. If you need to stretch yourself out one more time, go ahead. Mm. And then slowly but surely, finding your way into one last final seat all together. Could have done it in the dark. Don't worry. No need to put the lights back on. Good, very nice. Bringing our hands together right in front of the heart space, our eternal home. Simply being grateful for having not only the time and the space, but also the able body to do so many of these lovely practices. But at the end of the day, it's all about that heart in itself, not about the postures. To open our heart towards ourselves and others. To be reminded that we are all in this together. Or as Ram Dass always so beautifully said, we are all just walking each other home. Om Bolo Shri Satguru Bhagavan Ki Jai!
Yay!
To the heart, we bowing down to ourselves. Yeah, a little tap, 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 a little tap, tap, tap. Well done. Very good. Thank you so much for indulging. I wish you a glorious evening. I wish you a weekend full of sun. We'll see. And keep it open. And be nice to others and be nice, very nice to yourself. It's really not untrue, because the switch was again very, very strong. These changes of the weather, the changes of the season, they do go on your system. So it is not lazy or whatever or self-indulgent to take a little extra care of yourself. Naps are back in season, darlings. Manage where you can to do your self-care, your self-regulating. And I see you next week. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. See you next week.
Thank you, Mark. See you
Thank
next week.
you. Bye.